Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh, I'm celebrating. Oh, I'm an immigrant, as you probably realize. Although we like to, use the term expat because it sounds cool, but I'm an immigrant. And so I'm just coming to you from my apartment. I haven't been doing anything this week except, working because I have a job and preparing my materials for my visa renewal. That shit is so stressful. It's so hard and it is so stressful. And there's a lot of really conflicting information online. And I guess my good news, like if you're an American and you're facing your like Visa Visiteur VLS-TS renewal, there's good news. Because the French government has improved their system. All the stuff that I read online, wrong. It's wrong. I was like preparing so desperately. And like I read online that you were gonna get one upload. And so like you have to gather all your information, print out like everything that you have in an electronic format and like get it printed out and then scan it so it's all one electronic. No. The good news is that the French government has improved their system, as I found out this morning. And the reason I've been preparing all week, actually, even more than 1 week I've been preparing, because you know me, I'm super organized and I really want this renewal. I do not want to have to return to the United States. So, yeah, so here's the deal. They allow you 4 uploads for each section, and the major sections are habitation, so lodging, ressources financières, so like your finances, assurance, so like that health insurance, right? That year's worth of health insurance that costs less than $600 for the entire year. That includes like all kinds of fancy stuff. Yeah, that habitation, finance, assurance, identité, so your passport, right? Your Visa Visiteur. I included my validation to my Visa Visiteur just because I'm that, I guess, let's just say uptight. I just really want this renewal to be successful. Anyway, so, I mean, the good news is that like, yeah, you can, like and the other thing is that it says, if your passport isn't in French, then they need a translation. And that threw me for a loop this morning when I was able to get into the portal and I saw that. And then I was like flipping out. I was researching like translators. It looked like it was going to take a week to get it translated. And I was like, and then like I looked closer at my American passport and actually it's trilingual and French is the second language. And so it turns out, I dug a little deeper and it turns out that, most Americans don't need a sworn translation to go along with their passport because it is already a trilingual document. Yeah, so that's identité. I guess the thing to understand about the photo is you can't just go to a photo machine like in Amelie, at least unless those have been upgraded to and allow you to have the signature and the electronic code. But the online portal for the visa renewal wants a code. So you give it the code, and that's how it gets your signature and it gets your photo. And to do that, I personally went to a wonderful photographer on the Champs-Élysées right by Basic Feet called Photosynthèse, and charged me 20 euros. Just took care of me like no time flat. I mean, what can I say? Thank you. Wonderful photographer on the Champs-Élysées. So there's that. But you get like 4 document uploads for each category. I had assumed that I wasn't, so I had like gotten scans prepared, and my scans were definitely overkill. But yeah, so there's good news. There's good news. There's good news. The other thing that was driving me crazy is that like I like to prepare, right? And I'm super organized, right? So like I couldn't even see what they wanted and in what format they wanted it until today. It was driving me nuts. I just kept logging into the system like, could I see today? Could I see today? Could I see today? And for like the past like 3 or 4 days, the system's like, you're too early. You're too early. You're too early. You have to like apply between day 120 and day 60 before your visa expires. So that's another thing, that if you're an American in France and you need to renew your Visa Visiteur VLS-TS, yeah, it has to be in that 2-month window between day 120 and day 60. And I hadn't known that until this week. So you don't really have 4 months. You've got a specific 2-month window that starts 4 months before your expiration date. I'm so happy. I've got my documents submitted. Now I wait to see if they want more from me, although I already sent them overkill, so that would surprise me. Yeah, and then it's just all about trying to get an appointment at the prefecture. But I literally submitted my renewal with all my documents, like overkill, on the very first day it was possible. So I'm thinking I've set myself up for success. Although I have met people who had to leave the country because they were not able to get their appointment at the prefecture. And I've heard stories. A friend of mine works for the government with immigration, and she's like, yeah, that's happened to some of my families. Some of the families that I visited on is that they had to leave because they couldn't get their appointment. So there's still that stressor. But I think by just tackling this just as early as possible, I've really maximized my chances that I'm going to be able to get a slot once that part of the procedure comes along. I guess as an immigrant, I just want to say, like, I feel fortunate that I'm going to go in for my appointment in France. So nobody's going to seize me and deport me and separate me from my cat and my apartment and my life. I just really feel for all of the immigrants in the United States right now. Yeah, solidarity. All right. That's all I got for you this week, because like honestly, it's just been visa all the time with me this past week. So it's just very authentic and very real. Thank you for coming along on this journey. Au revoir, à la prochaine.